What's up, former party people? This is Jerry, you know, the one who actually combs his hair on the A is for Alcoholic podcast. Now, if you're finding value in listening to the AIFA podcast every week and you want to support sharing it with others, we invite you to become a sustaining monthly or per show contributor. Go to patreon.com/AIFA. It's super easy and it only takes a quick moment. It's about as easy as buying one of those pre-cooked space chickens from the grocery store, taking it outside, giving it a big old kiss, and kicking it into traffic. Why would you do that? Anyway, you do you, and I'll do me. Again, go to patreon.com/AIFA. And with that, people, let's start the show.
A is for Alcoholic is a program about recovery. My name is John, and I'm an alcoholic.
And my name is Jerry, and I'm an alcoholic.
Join us as we go through the alphabet of alcoholism, one letter at a time.
What's up?
Yeah, I think you know.
Right? There's some shit going down, apparently.
This is different from anything else that I've ever experienced. I don't think that I've ever been affected such by, I have Zika, H1N1, swine flu, avian flu, all these things were kind of like just in the background of my life. It was just something on the news.
Now it's
right here.
It's here. Well, I guess first off, we are a weekly podcast called we are A's for Alcoholic. We are a weekly podcast about two dudes in recovery. My name is Jerry.
My name is John.
And we're we're alcoholics, like totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we are here. We're both under quarantine. We're both in separate states. I know that I'm in the state of California, and they have basically give us they called it like gentle, was it like shelter in place? But it was like this gentle mandatory. It's not mandatory, but it's highly suggested.
Right.
So I don't know if they've done that with you or if it's just a suggestion.
No, I'm just doing social distancing right now. Oregon hasn't called a quarantine in place yet.
Mm-hmm. But your job is not.
Shop's closed.
Yeah.
Shops closed at least till the 1st of April, maybe later. Kids' schools closed. My daughter's out of school till April 28th at the very least. It's like the longest spring break. She hasn't changed her clothes in like 3 days. I'm like, word, dude, come on now.
Did you tell her it's time to put a fresh shirt on? Or like,
dude,
she's just gonna
wearing pajama bottoms and a t-shirt I gave her. And this morning I'm like, will you go change, dude? Because that's gnarly.
That's some like Danny Klain 1997 shit right there.
Right.
But
I've just lost a shirt. I just got no shirt on at all. We were laughing about this because on the Skype call, like I said, it looks like I'm a cam boy. Cam man?
Cam man. So we're going to talk today. So basically the premise of the show, if you don't already know, is we take a letter of the alphabet. We try to rope some sort of idea about sobriety recovery and match it to that letter. And so we're on the letter M, and Jerry, and we're no stranger to late 80s and early 90s hip hop references. So Jerry suggested Me, Myself, and I, which is a great De La Soul song.
Hell yeah. Off a great De La Soul album. Yeah.
That was featured in the movie Good Burger.
Oh, word. Strawberry Jacuzzi. Yeah.
With Keenan and Kel. As we go back, George Clinton was in that too. He was in the video for the De La Soul, Good Burger, whatever.
He was,
but
wasn't he? Yeah.
So Me, Myself, and I, we talk about being sober in quarantine. And I don't know about you, but the biggest thing, the thing that unnerves me the most is like the uncertainty, right? So if I know, even just in the days coming up to today, if I didn't know whether or not I had a job. I didn't know whether or not, and I don't, by the way. So, and we can talk about, I'm more concerned about the financial, the economic insecurity rather than any sort of health concern for myself, you know?
Right.
But it's the uncertainty that scares the shit out of me, because I'm like sitting here like, what do I do? What do I do? I want somebody to tell me what to do. Is it safe to do this? Is it safe to do that? Can I go for a run? Should I go for a run? You know, Dr. Sanjay Gupta says, hey, there was like a bunch of people in San Francisco running up and down the Embarcadero, not doing the social distancing thing. Right. And I was like, but if I just go by myself, is it okay? Should I touch the stoplight button? Should I just fucking not? Should I just keep running? Like, you know, like what?
Just close your eyes and run right into traffic. I mean,
So like what are the things that what am I supposed to do? So now I've been told stay home. Now I've been told there's no work. So I went to the fruit stand here. I went to the grocery store and I bought a bunch of shit, and those guys are working hard. Like, dude was there for like 12 hours, 13 hours, just fucking ringing people up.
Dude, yeah.
Can you imagine working at the Safeway?
I mean, I live next to the Safeway, so I went in this morning, right, because I was like, I got up at 6:30 because we were out of bananas, and like I needed vegetables and fruit. I wanted to make like salads, you know, and have some type, not just live off of rice and beans, you know, or whatever we have. I mean, we're all right, but you know. And I went at 6:30 and they were like empty. Like they had nothing. It was picked clean. All the bananas were gone. All the spinach was gone. All the chicken was gone. Like no beans, no rice, no toilet paper, of course. I walked it right when I walked to the front door at Safeway. It's at 7 a.m. They had 2 paper bags in front, and they were stuffed full of folded up paper bags, and written in pen it says, "They are out of paper bags. Take one of these." And I take 3 because I'm like, well, I figure I'm gonna go for it and just get as much as, you know, shop as much as I can, so I don't have to be back out in public for at least another week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk in, and the fucking cashier. There's one cashier lady there, and she's fucking crying hysterically, and she's out of paper bags, and she's just crying because they've fucking ground her down. They ground them all down, you know. And she like rings this guy up, and I can see her crying. I'm stopping, and I'm kind of concerned. And then she finishes ringing the guy up, and she like walks away, and she's over in the corner like kind of compose herself. And I'm like, "Do you need anything?" You know? And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "If you need anything, let me know, because I'm gonna be walking around here for a minute. Like I can get you a coffee or something. I don't know if you need anything, just let me know." And she's like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Cool." And it just like it kind of fucked me up, man, because I just walked into this dystopian ass Safeway with nothing. This place I've been going into now for years because I've been living on this side of town forever. And I know this lady. I see her every day. And she's like having a breakdown because they just were working all those cashiers, man. Those people are exposed to it constantly. You know, exposed to the virus, exposed to people panicking and in fear. It must be... my heart goes out to them. Like, I want to make them cookies, but then I'm like, here's my fucking virus cookies. You know what I'm saying? Something like,
you know, I don't think... I think if you wanted to bake them some cookies and say, hey, there's not... I'm not a fucking scientist, and you should listen to your healthcare professionals, CDC, and all that stuff. But
right, like I just don't want to be giving anybody food.
Well, they're telling people that, I mean, you can still go get to-go food, right? People are still making food out there, and it's still. I mean, I'm not telling you should fucking roll through the Taco Bell, but if that's what you got, there's still somebody in the fucking Taco Bell making. I mean, I personally am not going to
do it. It seems suspect to me. But this is me and my. I mean, anybody listening, these are no calls to action at all. In what way? No. We don't know. We're just 2 dudes. I'm not even wearing a shirt, man. I barely showed up. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, any gesture. You're absolutely right, and my heart is there, but I just don't know what the appropriate gesture is. You know. Dude, it was a wild morning. I got the text last night from the shop owner that the shop is closed. The 2 guys that have appointments out through the rest of the week are just going to work in the shop with the door locked and a sign that just says knock if you have an appointment. And just the appointment shows up alone. They don't bring anybody with them. Because the state hasn't closed down the shops yet. But the owner is like, she's like, dude, I can't. We had our first death in Lane County for coronavirus and our first case. And so... You know, she's like feeling like, dude, I don't want to be responsible for being a hub, you know. So I went in the shop and got all my stuff because the shop's going to be closed for 3 weeks. I have thousands of dollars worth of equipment I don't want stolen, you know.
Sure.
It was really strange, man. It was just strange being out there. I had to go to PetSmart. Biz as usual at the PetSmart, dude.
There's plenty of food there, right? Maybe get some puppy pads.
I got a few of those, yeah. And then I went to this isn't all about my morning, but it was such a surreal morning.
Yeah.
And I went to the Market of Choice, which is like the more like the Ray's Ranch market, like a rich people market.
Right.
I don't know, Trader Joe's, but like more upscale. And that place is totally business as usual too. They weren't even, the only thing they're out of was toilet paper. I got some lentils, I got beans. But I mean, they had all the produce. But even in line, man, I was just having a moment. Just because I'm by a bunch of people. We're all breathing the same air on top of each other. I mean, I'm like not 6 feet from any of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And they're all older people, like in their 60s and shit, you know?
So they're probably looking at you feeling exactly the same way.
I'm carrying, you're carrying, we're all fucked, you know? Like, I'm like, I had a moment, man. I was in the car, on the drive down after that Safeway, dude. This song started playing on my iPhone. It's by this band called Dawes, and the name of the song is "We're All Gonna Die." Jesus. And it's this really sweet ballad about acceptance, right? We talk about that a lot in recovery circles, is acceptance. I like started crying in the car, dude. Like I just like had a moment where I was just like, "Hey, get it out now because you can't afford this later on if it gets real hairy. You know, you got to push it out now and just keep moving, you know." It was a crazy morning, dude. Yeah. Yeah,
I would only say that it's a natural reaction to feel like, oh God, I'm around all these people. We're breathing the same air. They're right on top of me. Everyone's fucking infected. Everything's infected. I can't touch anything. And so, but it doesn't really help me to feed into that panic or fear or to, do you know what I mean? Because what happens when I'm the one who's got the cough? Right. And then everyone's going to look at me and what? They're just going to pitchfork me and put me on the pyre?
Word. And I was more like, I wasn't feeling, I was more scared for my own safety, which I see your point. I see where you're coming from.
So I get that. It's totally natural. It's human. It's not, I mean, I work in a restaurant, or at least I worked in two, at least until 2 days ago, when they basically, they're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. You know, the one place is doing takeout stuff, but they need like fucking 2 people to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't have a job, but I just think that like I'm trying to be, when I've gone out and I've had interactions with people, I try to smile and be kind and just try to be a little understanding, because they're just as afraid of me infecting them as I am infecting me. But like,
absolutely, it's just a general fear. Yeah.
And I think that fear for me stems from a lot of misunderstanding what's going on and how this thing works. And so I do my best to find, information that I trust from the CDC in learning about these things. And, I don't think it really helps to know exactly how many hours this virus will last on glass versus cardboard. And do you know what I mean?
That shit is not helpful, man.
It doesn't reassure me of anything. And so, although I've looked it up and now I feel anxious about touching things, like,
was it 24 hours on cardboard? We shouldn't be saying the numbers. Listen, you're gonna be all right.
So I guess what I would like to do is steer the conversation into like how it affects you thinking about sobriety. I mean, you live in a house where there's not any booze, so I mean, or none. Maybe there's none.
Well, Megan's got like one bottle of gross wine that I would never drink anyway, because it's like some weird, I don't even know what it's gross. I don't know what it is. It looks gross. It's white wine, dude. It just looks like, it smells like old grape juice. Like, good luck. Yeah, and there's not enough to get drunk anyway. Well, there's not enough to get drunk. That being said, that's not the only thing stopping me. It's not like if there was a bottle of whiskey in the house, I'd be like fucking getting ready, I just, this is great. This whole situation has its positive upside in it, in the sense of recovery, in that this is a great practice in accepting the things you cannot change, right? And that whole thing right now, this is all about acceptance and surrender. This is the way I'm looking at it. And I'm not trying to, there are other people out there right now that are sick that are probably listening to us. There are people right now that are scared, and I absolutely can relate to that, But for me personally, I'm looking at it like, this is surrender. I have to give up because there's not much, I mean, not give up like quit, but just give up like holding on, and like I have to just accept it. And just, this is it. I can't change this. I don't have, I don't have the tools to change this, but I can change my outlook, and I can try to change the outlook of my home, and just roll around, no shirt on, laughing, pointing at my kid, being like, "Dad's like this forever. Let's do it." You know, like I gotta try to keep their spirits up, even though I need them to keep my spirits up too. You know, shit, I need you. You know, like that Friday I texted you.
Yeah,
man, I like really needed somebody, right? Because my wife's very low key, man, and she approaches shit low key, and so sometimes I need someone else to just sit down and be like, just to be direct with me. And she's also very like, well, you know, it goes either way. And I'm like, I don't need either way. Like, I just need a definite, just tell me definitely, and then I'll assess. And so I texted you like, I'm kind of scared. And you said the same thing. You were like, you're young, you're healthy, whatever. You know, it made me feel a lot better, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's another thing to remember, you know, because I could have gone either way with it. You texted me and I was like, I didn't want to be like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking freaked out here too. You know what, bro? Like
right.
this shit is awful, and I don't know what to do either. But it's like, well,
right.
let's look at it. Okay, this has been, you know, whatever the argument was for you to go to work on Friday the 13th. You know what I mean?
It helped because I made a lot of, you know, I made more money than I normally do.
Right,
you know?
right. So
and now I can float through the month of that. But yeah.
So I think that it's important to. Yeah, accept the things you cannot change. My girlfriend has reminded me of the Serenity Prayer a few times because I have been way more anxious and way more just freaked out, probably because she doesn't follow news. I think she finally deleted the Instagram app off of her phone. Because it was just...
She did, huh?
Yeah, she was
too
just...
much, huh?
It was too much, and it was just messing with her head. And things in general, it wasn't just this, but so... And she's great with that, and she'll go like, yep, I don't like the way I'm behaving. I'm turning it all off, and I'm taking a break,
her, yeah.
you know, and I'm just kind of getting away from it. And so she is much more calm and serene and calming to me. And so I told her, I went over to her house the other day, and it was just a relief to be around somebody who was relaxed about it. And I think that it's important to be prepared and be aware and all that stuff, but also there's not much else I can do, dude. I bought some sweet potatoes, and you know, maybe I'll get another bag of spinach in a couple days. Yeah.
Kissing them both like you'll keep me centered. Yeah.
You know, because I think it's easy for me to fall into that. Well, should I get sweet potatoes? And maybe I'll get some yams, because if I eat sweet potatoes all week, I'm going to get bored, and I don't want to get bored with my food, because then I'm not going to keep this up, and this, that, and the other. And like, did I get that headache from that loaf of bread that my friend gave me? You know, like, oh my God, did I give myself a gluten intolerance because I haven't been eating any bread?
Shit. And we've been talking about this. You're like, I've been feeling my forehead. I was like, is this tickle in my throat a thing? And I'm like, so have I, dude. Like, we watched Westworld last night, and I was sitting there the whole time. Just
I haven't seen it yet. Don't tell me.
Forearm in my forehead. No, I won't. Just being like, am I good? Am I good? And Megan's like, you felt weird every morning since they announced this shit. Like, if you get it, you get it, Jerry. If you don't, you don't. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop that tide. I was listening to a disease expert on the Rogan podcast, because he has good people every once in a while, and I was like, this is pretty cool.
What did that guy say?
That guy was basically saying, man, and I don't want to get too into this whole... Well, no, fuck it. He was basically saying, like, trying to stop this is like trying to stop the wind. It's like the flu. Whenever the flu comes around, we don't sit around and go, we need to stop the flu. We just roll through the flu and accept it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that this is a whole different thing than the flu. I mean, it moves the same way as... Well, it moves different than the flu, but I guess basically what he's saying is this is one of those diseases that you can't really... Until they come up with a vaccine for it, you just kind of... write it out. Like, you can't, if you get it, you get it. And then from there, it determines, you know, how healthy you are, determines the outcome of it, you know?
Right. And so the most important thing is to stay away from other people so that we don't spread it, because it's here.
Right.
It's happening.
And that's the message that's been being cemented on media, and that's the message I will cement myself. I know people personally who are like, this is all fake news. This is all just media manipulation. And I'm like, I don't think so, because at this point, the whole market's dropping. Do you know what I mean? The media wants you to spend money. There's no way we're spending money if we're inside, unless Amazon. Do you know what I mean?
They've stopped
from this, but yeah,
they've stopped deliveries, dude. Except for things that are essential.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the UPS guy this morning. Maybe he was bringing
meds and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows? But I just know that, like, if this were a vast government conspiracy or even the media overdoing it, they want us to spend money. They want us to watch commercials and spend money on the shit they're trying to sell. Do you know what I mean? We can't spend money if we can't leave the house. You know?
Well, and I'll go you one
Not
further.
that way,
Let's assume that it is. Let's assume that it is. Let's just take that argument all the way. That it is a part of a larger conspiracy and it's a hoax and it's all here to control the public and put us under martial law and blah blah blah. Let's take it all the way to the far end of all that stuff because I've talked to people.
Let's FEMA box this shit.
Right,
you know?
exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, believing in that, I still have to deal with my regular day-to-day life right now. I still have to have to make phone calls. I still to take care of my financial stuff. I still have to exercise, right? I still have to take care of my body. I have to make sure I've got good food I still have to make sure that the people I love are okay and protected. So that stuff doesn't really matter. Whether you believe it is real or not or whatever that is, like it's not helpful for me. It doesn't. It gives me no helpful information. So that's part of why I kind of ignore all of that stuff is because every time I have a discussion I have a friend who listens to a lot of those things and he believes some and he doesn't others. And I said, so how is it helpful? What helpful information are they giving you? Are they just telling me that there's a big shadow government and they're just here to control me and I can't do anything? Okay, well, how does that help? I still have to wake up and go to work and do these things, and so that's kind of what I'm looking for.
You still are gonna have to use the homemade fucking handheld shower bidet because some ding dong bought all the fucking Charmin. Do you know what I mean? Like FEMA, the shadow government is not gonna keep you from having to fucking wash your ass. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Or from being fucking sober in recovery. The shadow government is not gonna be like, yo, dog. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, having that knowledge isn't going to keep you from keeping your shit together. You know, it's going to do the opposite. They say it's situational awareness, but to me, it just sounds like panic.
Right.
Because people like to panic. I mean, if you can't define something, you can't control it. You try to control the narrative, and it gives you some power if you're scaring the shit out of everybody. You know. I don't know, man. We kind of veered off.
Are you back there?
I'm putting this shirt on. Oh, did I disappear on you?
No, you're back. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Go put the shirt on. Put the shirt on. It's getting a little chilly for him, I guess.
Did I? Oh, you're asking me I was back. Did I cut off on the video feed or something?
Just for a second. So.
Oh.
So
I'm back. Just come back and I have a shirt on, a full suit, 3-piece suit. I'm like, what's up?
I think that it's important. It's just important to be calm and take care of the people around us, and especially the people in our communities and the people in our families and all that stuff. I mean, this is it's going to blow over, or it isn't.
We live with it, and this is our new reality. And our new reality means we adapt. We adapt to it, just like fucking recovery. Boom. Right. That's your new normal now. You live with it. You adapt to it.
At 5 years sober, did you feel that did it ever occur to you like things are going to get so bad I might have to have a drink?
I think in early sobriety, I wish they would get bad enough so I could drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, man, I hope it gets so bad that I could just spend the rest of my life fucked up and everybody get off my back about it.
But do you feel that way in the last week or two?
No, because I keep weighing out. I keep playing the tape back where I'm like, there's nothing that a drink can't make worse. It's just going to get worse. So now, not only am I dealing with paranoia and anxiety and these things I can't control, now I'm all hungover. Because I'm not thinking about the high part. I always think about the hangover part. The high part is such a tiny little... it's like a pomegranate, dude. Like, you do all that fucking work to get the tiny bit of fruit, and it's all seeds and gross fucking... Pomegranates are whack. Fuck pomegranates. But... like, you do all that work to get the tiny little morsel. This is what alcoholism has been to me the whole time. It's like you do all this work to get that little morsel, and then the rest of it's all shit. And you know what I mean? You can't eat it. And
you think you need toilet paper with a regular digestive tract. Pour some whiskey and fucking vodka on top of it.
I literally have 10 rolls right now, and I'm like, I don't know. But I also know that I'm not fucking drinking a fifth of whiskey every day, and so I'm like, I'll be all right, you know.
You got 10?
They will restock toilet paper before I run out.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure
10
they will.
rolls is 3 of us here. Like, I ain't pooping like crazy. I know I live with women. That's a whole different thing there. It's none of my business. But, I mean, it is my business if they decide to tell me. But, you know, they got a whole other thing going on there.
Well, I think that
I'll give them more. I'll take the 2. I'm like, these 2 Costco rolls, man, I'll roll this shit. I've been eating chia seeds. I'm fucking cool, man. Like,
so it's just that idea of
I've
like
been eating super greens and chia seeds, man. Go ahead.
do I
Sorry.
think that I know it's okay? Do I think that I need to have a drink? I haven't. It didn't occur to me. I mean, even Rashida was telling me, she's like, "Have you thought about drinking?" And I said, "No." And she said, "That's funny, isn't it? Like that.
Yeah, I
that
haven't
is
really either.
that is no longer a solution for your problems." And I was like, "Oh,
No,
okay."
that's a really, you know what I mean? Like, think about your priorities, right? So right now, whatever your priority is, whether it's economics, like paying your bills, like my big one, because I know I did this Friday the 13th, and my wife, even though she's out of school, will still get paid for the school. It's not, they don't pay them very well here, but it's enough that we can float, you know? So I'm like, we bare bones this shit, like we can float. So that wasn't really a major priority, but it was on my mind. But mine was more food. I got to make sure we have food. It never once was it like, I got to go down to Bo's liquor store and get a fucking handle. And that handle's only going to last me 3 days. And I'll be in quarantine for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you need 7 handles.
7 handles or fucking 14 fists.
Right, yeah.
Jesus, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's going to cut into rent, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm more like lentils. Do I got enough lentils?
You like lentils?
No, you just don't have any pinto beans anymore. So I just tried to buy lentils. I mean, they're good enough, I guess, but
Yeah, no,
I'd rather have
lentils. So
pinto
what I
beans.
like to do, so I get the lentils, I cook them up
Right.
like I do it like pasta style. So I don't really measure it out. I just kind of throw water and throw the lentils in, and I cook them for like 20 minutes until they feel ready. So I don't like worry about it too much. I kind of do like 2 to 1, but whatever. And then I take them, and you can crack an egg in there. And I make like little cakes with them, like little lentil cakes. But I use the juice from the can of garbanzo beans, like, you know, that kind of like water that's in there.
So you do lentils and garbanzos together?
No, but I just take the juice from the, because this is my vegan style. But you can do it with an egg, and so you mix an egg in with the cooked lentils, and then you add all your spices. And you can add some breadcrumbs or something, and you make little
cooked egg in there.
patties.
And
And then you make a little patty with a raw egg and then the cooked lentils. Mix it all up, make little patties, and fry them. And I make little fried lentil cakes. They're really fucking
that's a good idea.
Dude, you want to
I'll
enjoy
check
your
that
lentils?
I'm just curious. I'll check it out, man.
But,
that sounds fucking rad.
And if you just for an egg replacement or raw egg replacement, you can use the liquid from inside a can of garbanzo beans. You don't need to dump that out. I keep it now. I put it in the fridge and use it. So, but
Use that instead of an egg, huh?
What about
It's about to get wild in here.
what about meetings, man? I didn't go.
I haven't done well. I don't even know if they're having any anymore right now. I mean, I guess they're having a resource called Zoom. I guess this Zoom is like kind of like the Skype thing. I haven't looked into it at all. I've just been seeing it hop up on Instagram. But I was like, right before we got on this video conferencing call, I was like, man, maybe I should try one of those just to check it out. But I think it's like this, right? It's just 6 people trying to do the meeting. I don't know. I'll have to look into it a little more. But I haven't done any. You do a meeting? Are they still doing your meetings in California or no?
I don't know. I didn't go on Sunday. I was just kind of feeling like I didn't want to be around people, you know, and I have no idea. I assume that they are. I live in a community where there's a lot of people who are at risk in that at-risk age group that go to those meetings. So I'm just like, why the fuck? It seems irresponsible for me, somebody who is not in that risky age group, to go out there,
Right.
you know? So I'm kind of curious about the Zoom. I'm wondering if it might be cool to like just do some stuff and just start one on my own. Like if we did one and just invited people, and I mean, I know.
Let me know. I'll show up.
Okay, I know that's probably fucking breaking all kinds of traditions and all this shit, but I don't know what else to do at this point, because, you know, it's basically like, hey, there's no more fucking church basements. We're not allowed to go in there. You know what I mean? We have to make our own virtual church basements and bad coffee.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, and so the Zoom thing seems great, and I think there's going to be a lot of creativity out there with how to connect people.
I think so too. I mean, yeah. So hopefully we can utilize these tools to help us roll still and recover. Roll and recover. That's weird. That rich roll and recover.
Rich roll and recover.
Yeah, and then a bicycle spoke noise. He's a cool guy, man. He's got cool hair.
He's a cool guy. He did an Instagram live recently, and he was just talking about, taking care of yourself. And one thing that he said that I want to pass on to anybody out there who's listening is this is a great time to reset your diet, since you're not going out to all the fast food restaurants. You're not eating out in the same way. You really have an opportunity to learn to cook better and to eat better food and to any of those things that you want to do. And also the outdoors are not off limits, right?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm allowed to go out. We're going to go take the dog for a walk after this. I mean,
right. You just have to stay the fuck away from people.
Yeah. I ran 5 miles yesterday, man. It was
baby.
It was weird because I staggered it, right? So I got dressed, I put on my old running shoes, and then it was kind of stressful on the way down there. Like me and the cat had a dust up. She was like riding around on my back, and then freaked out and ran down my back, and I wasn't wearing a shirt, because I'm in self-quarantine, and she like scratched the fuck out of me bad, and I yelled "fucking cunt" really loud, and I was in the office, and my daughter was still asleep, and it woke her up. She like walked in like, "Are you okay?" Like, you're using strong words, and I'm like, so the cat. So I was already pissed off about that. So I go running, and about 3/4 of a mile into it, my feet are killing me, and my knees are killing me. My knees hurt really bad, and I realized, fuck, I put on the wrong shoes, man. I put on the old shoes that I flatten the insoles down at this point. You know what I mean? Might as well be running in dress shoes. So I had to go home and change my shoes. So I ran a mile, went home, changed my shoes, and then ran 4 more. I was like, fuck it, I'm doing 4 of my good shoes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I did 5, but staggered. I didn't do it all in one, what do you call it, running session? It looks like you had a running crew for a while there. There was like 4 of you running together.
I had, hang on, sorry, man.
Nah, that's cool.
I did. We do. We're just not going to. So a couple of the people that I work with. So what happened was one of the guys I work with, he's a cook, he's a chef, and he was talking to me about running, and he had run, and he's got a little extra weight on him, but nothing too bad. And he was asking me about how often I go and when I go and how long I go, and he said, if you want to go, let's go. And so he gave me his number. We exchanged numbers, and come to find out, a couple days later, he actually followed through and texted me, and I said, "Oh man, now I gotta get up in the morning and go running with this guy," because I just thought it was, we were just talking. So it started like that, and then another guy showed up, and then last week another girl showed up, and so we were just running at the same time every week. And I mean, we're not going to do it this week just because it's probably not a good idea, and everybody's got other things to think about, and schedules and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing to do once we can all get back together and do it. Until then, as far as I understand, the outdoors are still available, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep running. I didn't today. I woke up, like I said, I woke up with a headache, and so that kind of freaked me out. And I went to bed with the headache, and I'm like, "What's going on, John? Are you all right? Are you all right?"
Dude, I had that 2 days ago though. I went to bed with the headache and woke up with it, and I had the exact same thought process. So you're okay.
All right.
You'll be all right. Like, I woke up with the headache and was like, "Fuck, this is it. This is it. Shit."
So I think too, like with the meetings, because I know that I miss it. There's lots of stuff on YouTube, all those speaker discussion meetings that I listened to in early recovery that were super helpful. I mean, you turned me on to a lot of them, the Charlie P ones. Is that his name? And so
I think so. I
thought it was really cool because in the beginning, early on in recovery, I didn't know if I wanted to go to meetings, and it felt stressful, and I felt obligated. And so this was a way for me to listen to somebody else in a group of people talk about their recovery, and I could do it in my bedroom, and I could, I would feel good. It would give me some perspective and insight, and I didn't feel this sort of looming obligation to go to a meeting. And it was really awesome. It was a great way to kind of introduce myself to the ideas of recovery that were all brand new to me, all of the things that went along with the program that we follow. But so I would suggest doing that, looking up, Anthony Hopkins has an awesome one.
Oh, dude, Danny Trejo's are fucking kick ass.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo, Anthony Hopkins, Craig Ferguson. Who's the other one? Jack Grisham from TSOL. His are fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good dudes out there. There's a bunch of good dudes. You can even get a little weird and listen to some of the Clancy ones. Although Clancy's part of that other. I mean, they're part of the same group, but it's a whole offshoot. I don't know. Or it'd be super fun. We could sit down and just do hella 4-steps all day.
Just you and I.
Just a bunch of 4-steps. Yeah, that would be fucking rad.
Wow.
No, dude.
No.
Let's just start the 9th step. Let's do a bunch of 9 steps in this trying time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that I want to figure out something, and I think that it would be super helpful. I also want to put this out to everybody, and I mentioned this on Instagram. You saw it last night. And if
I watched the whole thing. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I forgot to I don't know, upload it or do whatever I was supposed to do, but I think during this time we all have a lot of extra free time. I know, and this goes out to all of our listeners, to anybody who feels like they would want to share their story. Let's get on the Skype or the Zoom or whatever it is. Let's figure out how to use these tools that we have available and are free. And if anybody wants to share their story, I think that Jerry and I know that Jerry's got a little more going on with family and stuff like that, but we can always...
There's no work or school, so I'm just kind of... As long as my wife's not using this computer to work, which she was using it earlier, she took a break so I could do this, but yeah.
I think that Jerry and I would be totally open to talking with people and getting online with them and just having them share their story on the podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm down. I'm also down for what you talked about earlier of doing the Zoom meetings. As long as you do all the work, right? 'Cause that's our relationship. You do all the work. I just show.
Yeah. So I need to be the secretary?
You got to lead it. Fuck.
Somebody's got to, right? I don't even know how to do that. But that's the thing, is it doesn't have to be like that. It can just be like, hey, we're going to read this, or hey, we're just going to talk about this, or...
Yeah, we could figure it out. Yeah, we'll talk more about it later, I guess. But, I mean, I'm down. Yeah, because once you brought it up, I'm like, it's a great idea. And then you're like, what, am I going to chair it? And I'm like, fuck.
Right?
Don't make me chair it. I hate chairing these things. I only hate sharing them because I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And I hate everybody listening to me. I'm on a podcast, so that's weird.
So I think that I live in a house with alcohol. There's alcohol here from the roommates, and there's gin in the freezer next to my cauliflower rice. You know what I mean? Like it's ever present. But I don't feel this strong urge. There's beer in the fridge. I've got wine in one of the cupboards that I got from a job I did. And but like you said, it's not going to make it any better. Like when I play it out, it makes it worse. I mean, I couldn't imagine having to deal with this shit. And what if I was out of something, or if I needed to go and deal with something, or being drunk would not help me in the slightest to feel better.
It just complicates it. It makes everything much more complex, especially in this period of time where nothing like this has happened in my lifetime. A lot of us, I would say everybody right now in the United States, in the world, in the world, nothing like this has happened in their lifetimes. I mean, there have been pandemics, there have been epidemics, there have been mass epidemics before modern history, as far as we are concerned. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. This is brand new. I mean, I got 9/11 when I was 26, and now I got this thing. And I spent all of 9/11 fucked up.
Yeah, me too.
I just wasn't in it. Like, I felt the anxiety, I felt the fear, so every time I felt that, I'd get more fucked up. But nobody depended on me but me. Now I got people depending on me. Mm-hmm. It's just, it makes it harder, man.
Including yourself now. I mean, you depend on...
myself, yeah. Because back then, I was just like, fuck you, Jerry. Like, I'd walk by myself in a mirror and be like, fuck you, dude. You're whack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything in particular to boost your immunity these days?
Just what I normally do. Work out, just try to eat more greens. But, I mean... Like I said, immunity is immunity, right? I mean, it's not like if I drink an antioxidant drink, I'm going to be any more immune than I was before. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
correct.
It is what it is. So, no, I'm not taking any supplements or anything like that. Get and sleep. That's the best way to boost your immunity is sleep and eat right. Eat
and
well.
Exercise.
And exercise. And don't gorge yourself. Don't eat a bunch of shit. Don't eat shit off the ground.
Right.
And I slept like shit last night. I didn't sleep great. last night, but that's because I knew I had to be up early, and I went to bed late, and I just woke up early.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll make up for it tonight. I know I will. And I've noticed, man, whenever I run farther than like 4 miles, I have a hard time sleeping that night, which is weird. I should be able to sleep great.
I don't know if that's a causation correlation thing. I have no idea.
I think it is not cause. Yeah, I don't think they are connected. I think it's all coincidence.
But keeping it at like 4 or 5 miles is perfect. You don't really want to do much more because that's so after extended runs, people who do half marathons and marathons, your immune system is definitely lowered. Doing 30 to 60 minutes.
Be active. Go out. You know, it's spring right now here on the West Coast. I know that they're hitting some weather systems in the middle of the country right now, which is great. Thanks. You know, we need that shit. But, you know, me on the West Coast, I know we'll go outside. We'll be active. We'll mow the lawn. We'll work on, you know, gardening. My wife wants to plant a bunch of bulbs in the backyard. And, like, we'll do things. Be active. Be out in the sun. And
yeah.
But that's good for your immune system, you know. Like, but definitely sleep. Sleep and eating. Eating better than crap.
Don't eat trash.
Pizza. Yeah, eat it every once in a while, but don't be eating trash. Unless you mean literal trash, don't eat literal
well, that either.
Because then you'll just get fucking the coronavirus and diarrhea together, which is
nobody
great.
wants that.
Yeah.
So, and I think too, man, like the whole, I keep coming back to the thing of acceptance and that I can't, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, right?
Right. That's all we can do is keep ourselves healthy and try to be as optimistic as we possibly can. Be hopeful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you even imagine, like, fucking 5-6 years ago, you'd be sitting here talking about being hopeful? Like,
no,
it's a trip to me.
We're all gonna fucking die. Like, that's exactly what I'd be saying. I'd be singing along to that song, but in my own way. I'd be listening to No Children by the Mountain Goats, being like, This is the way it is. Which, if you know that song, that's a bleak-ass song.
It's very bleak. And
that's my alcoholism, is that song.
It doesn't ring as, like, that song doesn't ring as true to me as it used to. Like, I don't feel as, like, into that, like, dark.
No, I hear it now and it makes me feel bad.
It makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
It's still a beautiful song. I mean, it just...
Yes.
It just hits different, as the kids say. But so I just try to accept those things, that this is, it's not as bad as it could be. And if I can do my part to make sure that it is mitigated, right? Mm-hmm. I think also one thing in sobriety that I've learned is to be proactive. So I'll give you, an example, because the biggest thing for me is the financial hit that I'm about to take. And I was about to start a brand new job. So I was in between jobs. I was working super part-time. And so all of a sudden, in like the next week, I was going to start working more than full-time. So I was kind of enjoying my time off and working part-time and just kind of skating by, floating by, because it was going to happen where I was training for this new job and now it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, well, I can pay the rent through April, so that's fine. I'll have a place to live. There's most likely plenty of food. That's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. But things like the car note needs to be paid and, insurance and things like that. And so I called the credit union and I said, hey, I'm really not sure. 2 days ago I had 2 jobs and now I don't have any. And
0 jobs. Yeah.
And originally I applied for a loan. I was like, why don't you just give me a personal loan so I can kind of float this or whatever. And they didn't necessarily like the idea of that. Apparently I was...
They wouldn't even offer you a line of credit, huh?
Well, I can get a line of... I have credit cards, but those come with very high interest rates, and those will...
but the bank themselves... Well, our bank... Anyway, this is... This is alcoholism and finance talk.
My point is that I was proactive, and I talked to them, and I explained my situation before anything was due, and they said, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and skip the next 2 payments on your car loan. So you don't... Not skip it. I still owe the money, but I don't have to pay them.
They're going to give you like a 60-day extension.
I don't have to pay until May 22nd, which is fucking awesome. Like, the level of relief I got just from that, and the car payment wasn't huge, but...
I'm going to have Megan call the credit union right now after we get done with this, because I bet you they're doing the same thing.
Yeah. So if you have
she's
something...
out of a job, too.
You're just hey...
Actually, I'm out of a job. I'm not getting paid at all. Just she's getting paid.
Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, like, those are the kinds of things that I can do in this time. I'll put it out there if anybody needs any sort of video editing work or wants help with audio engineering and stuff like that. I'm here. We can talk.
Yeah.
You know where to find
John's
me.
good at it too. You get the scrolling titles with the glitter and
all
shit.
the glitter. Yeah,
Anything that comes to iMovie, John's got it.
You got it. So
and Video Toaster.
But Video Toaster, is that a
Yeah,
thing?
circa 95, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a video editing. The video editor, that one tiny niche, that one video editor that listens to this podcast is going to be like, yeah, Video Toaster. Jerry's got the hot takes, dude. He's hilarious.
But I'm serious, man. I'm looking for stuff online to do until I can, but I'm able to be proactive with that. So I mean,
exactly.
I say, hey, listeners, do you need help making videos? Do you need help with audio engineering? Do you need help with any of these things online that I can help you with for promos, commercials, whatever it is? Just let me know and we can talk. But also, and I know this seems like a shameless plug, but if you're enjoying this show, there's the patreon.com/AIFA. Now, if you can, and I know we're all in a crunch, it's a good time if you're able. But so just being proactive with these finances, because in active alcoholism, what would we have done? Fuck it. I'll just let it go in arrears.
Right.
I just won't pay it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't. That was one of my famous quotes for collectors, is I was like, I'd always tell them, you can't squeeze blood from a stone. I don't have money for you to come take, and I don't own anything. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the rare time I'd talk to them and they try to put the screws on me, and I'd answer too hungover and not realize I was talking to the creditor halfway through. Like, I'd just pick up and be like, what? Instead of looking at the phone, And I'd always tell them, come take my shit, because I ain't got shit. And I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I would get really confrontational back with them, but I had nothing. I had nothing for you to take, so.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? I tattoo for a living, like, cash industry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my bills and stuff. I know that the governor of California did another declaration. I have to look more into it about utilities, including internet. Comcast, PG&E, our electric company, and stuff like that. So I'm going to reach out to my phone company. I'm going to reach out. I got a couple of credit cards. I'm going to reach out to them and just say, hey, if you want, we can go into default and I just don't pay, or maybe I can be if I just feel like if I'm proactive, people are more responsive to it and they're more helpful. And again, when I'm talking to these people on the phone, I try to be as kind as possible, as patient as possible, because they're at work and they're dealing with they're dealing with my ass times 100 every single day. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. I found that if I'm a little kinder on the phone, it's much easier.
I would definitely recommend in this time that if you do, absolutely, and I agree with you 100%. Like, be kind, be kind. If you have outside, connect, you're talking to people out in the world and you're scared or impatient, just be kind, because they're just as taxed as you are. Mm-hmm. We're all scared of getting this, and the ones who aren't scared are the ones who are telling you it's fake and it's all not real. Like, those people are whack. That's some whack vibes.
It's
Get
mad
your whack vibes out of here.
Hashtag mad whack vibes.
Mad whack vibes. Like, it's okay to not be scared, but to be a dick about it, or to be like, this is all fake and it's all fucking fake and blah, blah, blah. Just the fact that we are all trying to do something proactive together for a fucking change is a positive. So even if it is all fake, at least we all came together as a culture and tried to do something proactive. Do you know what I mean? So that people wouldn't get sick. It's all selfless on our end. Me as a person staying inside, I'm not sick. I don't have symptoms yet. I'm staying inside because if I am sick, I want to make sure that the person next to me my neighbor doesn't get sick,
Right.
I'm so selfless, people should give me something.
So it's true, man. You got to
checks to me. A is for alcoholic. That's my name.
Write it down. Mm-hmm. I think, and there's all these other. This is the whole world going on a fucking hard reset, man. When you look at things like they showed pictures of the canals in Italy, and they're crystal clear, and there's
clean?
like fish swimming in them.
Yeah. Yes.
And things like, and the whole with gas prices, I don't want to get into this, and that's a whole nother conversation about why gas prices are so low.
Is it lower?
It's like 80, 90 cents lower than it was.
That's why the
weeks
tank was
ago.
full this morning when I took the car. Because the tank was empty yesterday or the day
Mm-hmm.
before. And then Megan's like, yeah, I filled up the gas and didn't mention the price. But usually she'll just get a half tank because we're broke, you know. And this time it was full.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, let me get the good shit.
Yeah. So,
the
I
guy
mean, that's
puts
a
on,
whole...
like, silk gloves. And...
You're right.
yeah, dude.
But there's nowhere to go. Nobody's going anywhere. Fucking gas
Right,
is cheap and
exactly,
nobody's
yeah.
driving.
Nobody's
But
driving.
it's so the whole world, the earth is doing a hard reset, and I think that it's really an opportunity for all of us to... It's an opportunity for me to have a little more introspection, to maybe clean up my house a little bit, literally and figuratively, to now there's time. You know, what is the biggest excuse for anything that you've never accomplished, wanted to accomplish? What is the biggest one? I don't have enough
Right.
time.
I don't have enough time.
I'm sorry, I got to go to work. I got things to do. I got school, I got kids, I got work, there's bills, now I don't have any of that. So
Right.
there's nothing standing in my way. So if there's something, I would just say, if there's something that you've wanted to do, lean into that right now.
Yeah.
Utilize the free time that we as a nation, as a race of people don't get. I mean, if this happens again in my lifetime, I'll be surprised. So,
Yeah.
so like, what do you want to do? Do you want to work on, do you want to work on art? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to fucking, get rid of that stomach? I'm trying to flatten the curve around my waist, if you know what I mean.
Word. Yo, maybe me and you should set up Skype workout sessions. My wife, since she's been out of school, has been working out every morning. And she used to do it all the time when we first got married, and she did it all the time. And then when she started the school, she didn't have time. And that school wears her down, man. She gets up at 6:30 with me and then gets ready and goes straight to school and then comes back. And as soon as she gets home, like on my days off, she just goes and takes a nap. Because, taking care of the other people's children all day long takes a lot out of you,
Sure.
So now she has time to work on her real estate and all that other shit, which is funny because nobody really, the real estate market is kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of hot in Eugene, but it's still like, I'm like, man, I hope this will work for us, I don't know. This is kind of outside. These are outside issues.
No, I don't think that they are. I mean, this is real life stuff. And so these are things that are very easy to drink over in past lives.
Hell yeah, in past lives,
Right?
yeah, and in current lives. We gotta be careful, Just gotta remember, it makes it harder. It makes it more complicated, and it fucks up your immune system. So then, if you are
that
worried
too.
about getting sick, and then you're like, well, I guess, dude, this is actually such a trip because I was in line at the Safeway at like 7 a.m. and the dude next to me was a young guy in his 20s, and he was buying 2 fucking 40s of the plastic 40s of Steel Reserve at like 7 a.m. And then I'm taking my shit out after this woman's crying and shit, and like this whole fucking, the store is picked clean like a goddamn apocalypse movie. Everybody's on edge because it's early and nobody's really in the store yet, and everybody that works there, you could tell they're just like, fuck this. And this dude's buying his 2 Steel Reserve. It was just a bad scene. And whatever, I've seen people buy malt liquor. I'm not like a shirking violet or anything,
No.
but like, I'm putting my shit in the car, and that dude hops in this shady ass like Coda's old Cavalier, like some
Yeah.
shitty Coda car. And the dude looks like Alan Moore, the other guy. This young guy has like earrings in and like, he looks like Brian Austin Green in 90210. He gets in the car with Alan Moore in Coda's car and drive off. And I'm like, those 2 dudes are going to get fucked up right now, like super early. Because that's a priority, because they're drunks. Like,
Yeah.
those 2 dudes are going to, I hope they don't get sick. Like, I hope they don't, but they might. And this illness isn't a death sentence. That's also another thing I want to really stress during this time is this is not a death sentence. This is just like, if you're fucking immunocompromised, all the shit they're saying on the news, man. If you're fucked up already, it's gonna fuck you up more. Which is probably not the greatest language to use, but you know what I'm saying, though. Like, anyway, I just saw their priorities. That was that guy's priority, and it's not a bad thing. I guess I had a there but for the grace of God moment.
Yeah.
I absolutely did.
Yeah. Because I would have been right there. If I would have seen him, if he was behind me, I would have bottomed for him and been like, yo, man, if you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but these are on me.
These are on me.
I
You
don't
would have
know.
bought his beers. Oh my god, dude, highway to heaven, that shit.
Probably not, but
Between that dude and the crying lady and the dude throwing away
Yeah.
all the rotten produce because there was some of it was going bad, and the produce guy's hucking it in a box and he's like grumbling to himself. I'm like, yo, this Safeway is bad vibes, dude. Okay,
Whack-
get out of here.
whack
It's a
vibes.
bad wave. Whack vibes 2020. We
Mm-hmm.
need to make it rad vibes.
we do. We really,
That's why
really
I tell
do.
my listeners, just blast your shirt off. Turn the heat way up in your house and blast your shirt off.
Feels
Fuck
good.
it. Just for an hour. Turn it up to 80. Blast that shirt off. And then hang out for 20 minutes. Turn it back down again. Put your shirt on.
It's good advice. I'm gonna
Good
try
advice,
that.
right? Yeah, like I had someone comment on my Instagram story. He's like, well, you must be lucky to have your heat up so high that you're so warm. And I'm like, no, dog. My spirit keeps me warm.
Right?
Spirit of Jesus Christ.
I mean, also,
not
also the
Jesus
Instagram story was what 45 seconds long, so
Yes,
it's not like
But I wasn't wearing a shirt because I just finished working out too, and then I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, because usually when I work out, I take my shirt off to work out. I
Yeah.
do just because I get hot when I work out, and also I don't like sleeves. I just don't like hanging garments
Yeah.
when I'm like lifting weights and shit.
uh-huh.
Anyway, that's when I filmed it, and then I was like, well, I got a lot of windows too, and there's a lot of sunlight, but man, it'll be all right.
It's gonna be
all-
okay.
well, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Just know that you have no control over it whatsoever.
So to recap here, so that I want to talk about being in isolation, finding ways to connect. Jerry mentioned about maybe we're going to figure out this Zoom thing, and maybe if you get an account and I'll get an account, and Jerry will do the workout. He'll lead the workout part of our Zoom
Right.
hour, and then I'll
Right.
lead the recovery part. We'll do.
Right.
And maybe we can. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. And if you want to join in, maybe get a Zoom account too, and we'll figure this shit out because we're going to be doing this at least for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll figure it out because
At
we
least.
and we'll have John put it on the Instagram story too. I was on the Instagram for a while, but now it's gone. I don't know why it's gone, but I'm not on it anymore. But
What do you
that's
mean
all
you're
right.
not on it?
Like I can't post to our Instagram page, but I don't think I ever could.
Oh, well, I'll hook it up with you. We'll sit here for a second after we're done recording. But yeah, so in conclusion or in summation, like acceptance, there's a lot of stuff out there that we can't accept,
Right.
and we just have to. Or there's a lot of things that we can't change, and we have to
Change,
accept
yeah.
that.
There's a lot of shit I can't accept.
Yeah,
either,
there's
though.
a lot of shit I can't
like the
accept
whack
either.
fucking vibes.
So be kind, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
If there's find somebody you can talk to if you feel the
Yeah.
need to pick up.
Yes.
And even-
Yeah.
you can shoot Jerry and I a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know,
if you're
like
feeling a
that's-
little hinky, I'll talk to you. I'll message
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I'll message you back.
So,
Yeah.
and I think that, like, I'm looking forward to being on the other side of this and how things are going to change, and hopefully
We're gonna
we
learn
can-
some shit, and a lot of
Right.
shit's gonna change. It's already changing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Fast.
I think that the big mantra, one day at a time, it works for a lot of things, and I think this is one where, again, a lot of my stresses now are coming from the lack of funds that I have, my financial stresses, and it's like, okay, so what do you need today? All right. Okay, you got that covered? All right, now we don't need to worry about it anymore, and that's what I try to tell myself.
Word.
So
You're gonna start
stressing
having to
out.
collect cans, dude. Sell some blood.
Whatever.
What would you do to get booze? Do that.
Yeah, right. That's a great way to look at it, man. Like,
Yeah.
what would you do to get booze? And I've heard this thing too. I've heard people say, I had to drink every day to get drunk. So I gotta,
Right.
for recovery to work, I gotta put in the time and effort of recovery, whatever that is and whatever that means to you. You have to put the time in, and I have to put the time in every single day, or else I don't get what I need. So,
Yeah.
like, that's a great way to put it. What would you do to get loaded? Would you go collect cans? Would you fucking, yeah.
Yes. Take all my change in. Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
I guess I'm going to start getting on like survey sites and clicking surveys for a quarter a piece and doing whatever
Maybe.
it takes,
Maybe
like,
just listen to Hail Mary Mallon and click survey sites. You should listen to them. They're dope. That's my recommendation. Good hip hop group.
Harry Mellon.
Yes,
what?
Harry Mellon Mallons. No, it's called Hail Mary Mallon. Hail Mary Mallon. It's
Okay.
Aesop Rock and another dude. I
Okay.
can't remember his name. It's dope though.
Okay.
It's dope. That's what we should be doing is discovering new music. I'll send you over my run playlist on Spotify. You let me know what you think about it.
I'm gonna work on. I have one on Apple, and I want to get it over on Spotify as well.
Right.
I would suggest, and I'm listening to an Audible book right now called PMA. Now you know who John Joseph is, right?
Yeah, he's that vegan guy who's super mad.
So he's the big mad vegan guy. Yeah, he's really. I think
He's not mad actually. He's just very New York. He's very Lower
New
East
York,
Side. Yes.
and he's very passionate. And
Passionate. That's a good word.
he's got another book called "Meat Is for Pussies."
Yes.
But that's so
How's
that's
that
the kind of
PMA
guy.
book? Is it good?
So it's really good, and it's great to listen to him read it with his accent, and it's
Right.
just his passion about it. But it's PMA stands for Positive Mental Attitude, and that would be my recommendation: is to get a copy or listen to John Joseph's Positive Mental Attitude. And it's
Boom.
what's great is because he's not only did he study with monks and as a monk, and he's like knows all of this shit, but he's very practical not only in his language but in his application of these tenets, of
Really?
how to stay positive, what you do.
He's a Hare Krishna, isn't he?
He was. I don't think he is anymore. I don't know how that works exactly, but he studied with them, and he was there. And if you ever listen to if you ever listen to any podcast that he's been on, he talks about the Hare Krishnas. He talks about living with them. He talks about how there was a lot of fucked up shit and people were getting taken advantage of, and he kind of walked away from it for a while. But it's really cool, and I find it to be really inspiring and really helpful to listen to him. And I just I like that rough language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Don't even fucking meat, you fucking pussy. Don't eat that fucking meat. You get that meat out of your fucking mouth.
Basically, John Joseph, if you're listening.
Then he's gonna come punch me in my face and
Right.
mock my voice, you dick. And I'm like, no, I appreciate it actually.
But yeah, he's done a bunch of Iron Mans and shit like that, and he was in
He's
that
a tough fucking dude, yeah.
punk rock band called the Cro-Mags.
The Cro-Mags are cool.
So,
Let's see what else. You know what I'm doing?
Huh.
I'm gonna playing the Division 2 on PS4, shooting motherfuckers, mm-hmm. killing some fucking terrorists. We're watching Westworld.
Yeah, I got that too. I got the HBO now for now.
Yeah,
we'll see
we
if
just
I can
finished Narcos Mexico season 2.
How was it?
Fucking great. I love
Okay.
anything like that though because I don't want to say it's relatable because I was never a narco, but I grew up, in the Mexican culture. So to hear people actually speak Spanish the way Mexicans speak it is great. What else are we doing? Watching Legion on FX. That's a great one.
Okay.
Marvel show. It's pretty good though. Yeah, that's about it. I might do some of these audiobooks you speak of though. I've been doing tons of podcasts too, man.
Pods are good. The audiobooks are good. So yeah, I think just hang in there.
Be all right. Hit us up if you get lonely. Anything. Hit either one of us up. We'll message you back.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it. All right, Wagner.
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
Talk to you later, man. Bye.
Thanks again for listening. Our music, as always, is by Neglect. You can find more of his stuff at neglect.bandcamp.com.
And you can find us on all social media platforms that matter: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can reach us at aisforalcoholic@gmail.com.
Talk to you later.
Yeah.